If you are feeling hesitant to sell your house right now because maybe you think that you've missed the boat, that you missed the all-time high, and you should just hold on to your property instead, I want to let you know that the market has not crashed. Has it slowed down in Tucson, Arizona? Yes, it sure has. But trends have shown that the property prices have still gone up, and they are still trending that way. Sellers are still selling at high prices right now, even with the interest rates having increased over time. A lot of sellers are currently paying closing costs, which was different from 2020, 2021, where buyers were paying their closing costs and the seller's closing costs. That is no longer the case. We're seeing majority of transactions right now where sellers are likely paying their closing costs and even some of buyers' closing costs. So buyers have less to bring, and that's because the rates are still in the high sixes, low sevens at this time. But even with those interest rates, the buyer demand is still strong as ever, and it is still a seller's market overall. So I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer and go back to the basics. If you plan on selling, which right now it is still a good time to sell, for buyers, it's a good time to buy if they have to buy. And those buyers that are on the market right now, they have to buy, they will buy. So go back to the basics, make sure that your property is appealing and aesthetically pleasing to buyers, starting with that curb appeal, starting with the landscaper. If you need a good landscaper or a couple of them, let me know. I know a guy. But just be mindful that at this current time, sellers are negotiating more with buyers. Buyers are getting a little bit more in closing costs, in a little bit less than the list price. Of course, each situation is very different, depends on where you list to begin with, which leads me to the listing price portion of this talk. The listing price is so important. If you list at the wrong price, it could make your property go stale from the very start, and I do not want you to be in that position, not when it's still a seller's market. So if you are selling your home, you want to make sure that you're working with a real estate agent and a good crew that knows how to list your property and attract the right buyer. By working with me and my crew, which we are for hire, we would work together to make sure that your property gets in front of as many potential buyers as possible, putting it in the best light as possible because, again, it is a seller's market. The median days on market vary from suburb to suburb all throughout Tucson, so I want to make sure that your property does not go stale. So if you know you want to sell with us, book using the Zoom call below. We'll see you there.